my gosh. So I'm editing this video right now, and I realized, like, in the beginning, if not probably the entire time, I was saying 2020, not 2022. I don't know why my mind is stuck back in 2020, probably because 2020 was such a traumatic year. But yeah, I totally meant to say 2022.
So 2020 is almost here, and if you're watching this in 2020, that's okay. Like, this will still apply to you. But that being said, I know we're gonna be seeing a lot of content on New Year resolutions, and I have like this huge love-hate relationship with New Year's resolutions, because I think the way that most people do New Year's resolutions can be pretty toxic, and this is what I mean. A lot of people kind of use New Year's resolution as a way to completely change themselves, and that can be good. However, sometimes people do that because they don't feel like they're good enough just the way they are, because outside sources are telling them that they need to be skinnier, they need to be taller and more fit, they need to have longer hair, shorter hair, they need to dress a certain way, they need to go and have a certain lifestyle. And so they're like, okay, this year I am going to be what society considers perfect, and that is not okay. And I don't want you to have those kinds of New Year's resolutions. In today's video, I'm going to share with you 4 New Year's resolutions that I really think are going to be great for you to practice throughout this year. It is going to make you feel better about yourself, not because it's changing the way you look, but changing the way you think and the way you then start feeling about yourself. The first New Year's resolution idea I have for you is spend less time on social media. I know this is gonna be hard, at least it's gonna be hard for me, because TikTok is my biggest weakness. Now, I know everybody's like, okay, I'm gonna give up social media and I'm gonna do better and blah blah blah, but we all can agree it's so much easier said than done. So I'm gonna give you some actionable steps you can take that I have taken to help you overcome your social media addiction. So the first thing is, I started this thing where every time I am in my room and I feel tempted to pick up my phone and scroll through social media, I started instead picking up a book and reading a chapter. And I noticed that actually really has saved me from getting on social media as much, because after I read like a couple pages, I'm like, all right, well, I'm done reading and I no longer want to get on social media. And plus then I'm reading and I'm actually doing something useful. I also find myself wanting to scroll through social media a lot when I'm doing homework and I get like stuck on a question that I don't know how to answer. I just get stuck. I'm like, I'll just take a break and I'll get on social media. And again, I've caught myself making that a habit. So now I try to just again pick up a book and read. Recently, instead of picking up a book, I have been picking up my ukulele, because I got this just for fun a couple months ago and I've been wanting to learn it. So I'm like, well, I don't want to get on social media, so I'll try to learn how to do a song or a chord. So I'm still wasting time, but at least I'm not wasting time on social media. So that's one way you can go at it. Now, that being said, I do have to say, if you want, feel free to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I'm not promoting that you should spend a lot of time on social media, but you should totally follow me on social media. So if you're interested in that, I'll link my socials down below. The second New Year's resolution I have for you is to read more often. I know everybody talks about how reading is good for you, but I didn't realize just how good reading was for you until I met my boyfriend. I have never met somebody that reads as much as this kid. And when I say he reads, I mean like the guy will just pick up a book and sit and read the entire thing. Like all of it. I could barely read a chapter before I'm like, all right, what else now? So I'm not saying be like my boyfriend. However, I have noticed because he reads so much, like, I'm not like trying to brag, but like the kid is intelligent. Like, he is so smart, and his reading comprehension is like off the charts. And not only is he like intellectually smart, but like he's also like emotionally aware. And I think that has a lot to do with the fact that he has read like a lot of novels and just a lot of books, and it has exercised like every aspect of his brain. And so he's just really emotionally intelligent, and he knows how to deal with feelings and emotions. And like, I know that has to do with him reading so much, as well as just because he's such a great guy. Third New Year's resolution idea. This one has a little bit more to do with your character and how to develop a better character, and that is try to be the kind of person that you want to attract into your life. I think a lot of us complain about not having a lot of good friends or not really having a lot of good people around us. And to that, I ask you, well, what kind of a person are you? Because usually we attract the kind of people that we tend to act like. If you are consistently really mean and rude, well, your friends are probably going to be really mean and rude. Like, there's no way a lot of like nice, caring, genuine people are gonna be within your friend group because they're nice and they would get taken advantage of. So if you want people around you that are genuine and authentic and loving, then work on your character and try to become that person so that you can attract those people into your life. Also, with that being said, if you notice there are people around you that kind of stop you from becoming that person, then maybe it's time to cut them out of your life. If they are toxic and they're rude and they don't push you to grow into becoming a better person, then those might not be the people that you want to take with you into this new year. So just kind of think about that. I'm not saying be mean and be like, I'm going to just get rid of all my friends and I'm going to go into this new year with just completely changed mindset and just say screw it to the other friends I've made. Like, no, probably shouldn't do that. But if you do realize like your friends aren't necessarily the kind of people you want to become, you might have to either ask them to change, or maybe they will change because they see you being a different person, or it might just be time for you to look for different types of people that are going to push you into becoming a better version of yourself. The last New Year resolution I have for you is learn to become more vulnerable. I did a TikTok on this a while ago and somebody commented and said, what even is vulnerable? And I was like, you know, that's a good question because that's a very hot word right now, but not a lot of people actually know much about what it even means to be vulnerable. So to me, being vulnerable is admitting that something is hurting you and that something is painful, rather than shoving it down, pretending like it doesn't bother you and that it's not a big deal. Our culture advocates for this really toxic, happy culture that promotes you to just be happy all the time, and if you're going through something hard, you just fake it till you make it and put a smile on your face and just don't talk about anything too real. And I see how that can be a good thing sometimes, but a lot of times it's not a good thing because it's forcing you to just stay quiet and not feel feelings. And the thing is, you might be able to do that right now, but eventually those feelings, they're gonna come out. Like, you can't suppress those feelings for too long. Eventually you're going to be making decisions because of the way you suppressed your emotions and you wouldn't even know it. You might end up making some life-altering choices all because you never really dealt with particular feelings and emotions that you had experienced when you were younger. So in 2022, I want you to be better at expressing your emotions and just being vulnerable and admitting that something is hurting you. So those are 4 ideas, and maybe take one of them and try to practice them throughout the year, or do all of them. I personally am going to really challenge myself to do those 4 things throughout the year, and I hope you can follow me and join me in that journey. So I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you have a great New Year's. Stay safe, and I look forward to just interacting with you throughout the year. If you haven't yet, make sure you join this little community of ours by subscribing to my channel and give this video a thumbs up. Don't forget to follow me on socials, but don't spend too much time on there. But that is all I got for you, and until next time, bye.